No, it didn't work.
We're live.
You already know what the E stands for. Right, laughs, toys, a little more. Streaming my world, no script, just me for sure. Cheeky takes, good vibes. Come and see all the fun, the stories hanging casually. Talking collectibles, highs and lows. Where it goes, nobody knows. Talking collectibles, highs and lows. Where it goes, nobody knows. Be there for. You already know what the E stands for.
Wow, it's entertaining. But welcome. You already know what the D stands for, and I got Mr. Dash Foot with me today.
What does the D stand for?
You don't want to know these days. But I know we're chilling out having this is just kind of more of my casual. Sometimes I just stream by myself stream, but it's a good way to bring up everything that's not Transformers related, you know? Hey,
Yeah.
Builder Prime. We can still talk some Transformers, of course, but I mean, it's just yeah. How you been, man? Like, what's up? Like, have you? I saw you do some more of the car channel and all that. But anything else going on toy related too, or
Nothing really.
Yeah.
Just a little random stuff that when it comes into the store, I'm make
Yeah.
a little short or something for it.
Yeah, that's cool. And then you're saying that stuff with that podcast thing to me too. That's cool. Like, that's neat stuff. Like, but nothing like. Do you ever bring any of your own stuff there? Is it consignment or?
We do consignment for people, and but as far as my own stuff, no, I don't take my own stuff up there.
No. Hey?
Nah.
What do you do? Any flea markets or anything in your area to sell? Like locally,
Well, that store is kind of in like an antique mall.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, but we usually we do trades with like other owners and stuff like that are up there. Like it's like there's a couple of toy vendors and stuff up there, but we, they all kind of specialize, if you will, like in their own little thing, right?
Yeah.
And the store that I work at is very like retro. Tons of masks, tons of Joes, tons of Star Wars, Transformers, Rambo, RoboCop, just all kinds of vintage stuff. And some Mayfex, like some modern Japanese stuff kind of thrown in the mix, but
That's cool.
So then there are people up there who are like only specialize in Japanese stuff. That's it. That's all they get. Mayfex, Yamaguchi, Mess Toys.
How about older Japanese stuff, like old Japanese robots, stuff like that? Do you ever see there?
Yeah, there's the guy's got like a connection in Japan or whatever, and whenever he goes to like book off or hard off or anything like that or whatever, and he finds it.
Yeah.
He ends up getting it and bringing it back. So
That's cool. Sounds like where I'm living, but yeah, I know. It's cool. Like, someone was telling me too. Like, I haven't done much. Like, out. Like, haven't finally do. That's why this casual stream is just kind of fun. Like I said, I usually do it for an hour max, and sometimes it's about myself, just showing stuff, talking about anything. Because my area is just so dead. Like, I had people coming up to me even at a store. It's like some people I know, and they were like, "You never do the toy hunt video anymore." It's like, well, there's no Toys R Us in my town. But Walmart's never get anything, and the GameStop, it's all pre-ordered. They don't really want you to film in their EV games, whatever, right?
yeah,
And it's just kind of like, for that type of content, and then like I said, like people said, oh, go make a hate or rage video and go into Walmart. I mean, okay, but like I'm just not one to complain. You know what I mean? It's just to kind of know what the deal is. So
right.
it's kind of hard just to be in there and but I mean, it's kind of cool just to show how bad it is in a way, because it's just like when we used to have the Toys R Us here at the Target, it was so easy. And specialty shops, I mean, we have one more newer one now, but still, like, it doesn't get like new stuff. the vintage stuff. People don't exactly. I don't want to hate on them. They're good people, but they don't even exactly know like what parts go with people. Transformers, and they even have the wrong heads. I wouldn't want to like film that, and people be like hating on it. So yeah, it's a little crazy, you know.
Yeah.
And Pokemon is just fad here still, right? Like the Pokemon cards. There's all these new conventions in town, but it's all card related at this moment.
Man, I got a buddy at the antique mall. His store is like modern day, like retro Marvel Legends and then Pokemon cards.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he resells the stuff that he finds at Target and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And then but like the Pokemon cards, man, I've watched him make like $1,200 in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I know one guy too. He came in, he bought 10 grand recently at EV Games of Pokemon. He makes a lot of money. Like he on his Instagram, he had people from Vancouver coming up, and outside his house was all these Japanese people with like a lot of money. They had like all these supercars parked out in front of his house. He took a picture. And the guy that sells the cards, he's a bit of a breaker, right?
At the end of it, man, I can't wrap my head around. I've seen people, they open up their packs and they'll just be like, oh man, okay, you know, say a pack has like 12 cards. I don't know, but I'm just saying the pack has 12 cards in it. They'll be like, oh man, well, here's the 11 cards that I don't want. This is the only card that I want. And you know, it's like a $20 card, but okay, cool. But you just like the whole point of that pack was the 12 cards, not just the fucking one, right? So
yes, yeah, but I'd say the same. Yeah, basically, like I don't think I have any of them here. Maybe I do, but yeah, some of it's like it's tough. Like yeah, you're looking for those full arts now, right?
Well, but it's a card game, right? No one plays the card game.
Oh god, no, the card game is just collecting.
Yeah, so
Now Bart, he's old school. He likes to play the game. He collects it. He's doing the Magic Spider-Man cards right now. They're not as popular, but some of them are worth money. He's got some really good pulls. He didn't get the shiny Spider-Man ones yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's enjoying it. He loves Magic, right? He's a big nerd like that. So, you know, D&D and such too. So he's got that, you know. Now, which are these? Like these, I got those Union Arena Nikki cards. I don't know if I got all the good ones here. I'll show you a couple. But yeah, like some of these, you know, they're still cool and all, but the full art like that. These ones kind of cool with the anime frogs on there, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. They're like not. When I bought them from the store, like the GameStop, the guy's like, "Can you please buy these?" He's like, "No one else will." But yeah, those Magic cards. Have you seen those?
No. Okay, so here we go. I'm a dumb fuck because the other cards are pointless. They're literally worth 5 cents or more. Okay. So like I'm not feeding the troll here, but like if I'm the dumb fuck and you're going out and spending like, you know, fucking an extra $50 on some inflated booster packs.
Yeah, it says they're on your thing, so you can
What's up, E-Man?
You can time them out or block them on your thing. It's not on my chat, it says. Hey, E-Man! Hey, E-Man, like I said, I'm doing the Cybercast things. I know I'll get to you. I just have input lined up, and then I'll do one with you. I just haven't... I want to get around to it. I'm just trying to get, like you said, just moved, still kind of sorting my shit out and trying to, like, get into the groove of doing that. And like I said, some of the news wasn't as good, and I have to have that vibe again, like the really, I was in that mode just to keep streaming. So this little thing kind of helps me out. And Quentin's awesome, man. If you don't, do you follow Input? You should definitely get Input a follow if you do.
No, don't follow me. Don't follow me like once a week. Like if that, it's like a 5-second video. Don't follow me.
You know, all those people are on your channel, not my channel.
Well, we're streaming to mine, aren't we? Is that how?
Yeah. So those guys are coming over the negative people. But yeah, like who cares? But yeah, saying dumb fuck is just like, come on, man. It's worth 5 cents. Like 5 cents in this day and age, right?
Like, I mean, some of this shit's like, it's like, it's making gambling acceptable. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Which is
yeah,
crazy.
I know. Like the thing is too, now kids can go to GameStop, EB Games right now because now they're accepting cards worth over $1. You can trade them in for credits. Now the kids will buy the cards, like try to get the good card, the gambling aspect, and cashing it in, not for real money, but for that. So it's a little strange, right? And I watch a lot of sports, right? So we got FanDuel constantly on. When you watch sports, Super Bowl, hockey, they got all the betting apps on there, right? But I think it's like smoking used to be in that sense too. Like one day, some of that stuff will definitely, get more regulated, and you'll be like, remember when we used to see all the betting ads on TV, right?
Yeah, probably. But I mean,
hey, Quentin, thank you.
It's not. I mean, legally, it's not gambling, but
yeah,
it is gambling.
Yeah, the gray zone. But then, like they said, you're not supposed to really show gambling ads to kids, and a lot of kids are watching sports, right? There's like gambling ads the whole time, so
right,
it's a little strange. Magic cards, getting kids using. Yeah.
Well, no, my point with the gambling thing is like, if you're marketing this entire thing, I know everybody buys Pokemon, but like for the most part, the people that I see go into the store are like parents. Well, not parents. They're parents with kids, but I'd say a lot of the people who go in are like 20 on down, right? And sometimes they have their parents, sometimes they don't, whatever. But the
yeah, I'd agree, man. Like it's just cards right now are just they're the flavor of the month, right? Like they're just the big thing. Hey, mom.
But it's making gambling. It's teaching kids how to gamble.
Oh yeah, dude. It always was. It's always been there. Pogs, man. They taught me how to freaking rob and get money, dog. Like, you know what I mean? We're smashing kids, robbing people for Pogs and shit back in the day. So
yeah, but it was different back then because it wasn't to the level that it is now. Like, it wasn't able to get to the level that it is now. Like if you had 5 kids hooked on Pogs and that taught them how to gamble, what's 5 out of 1,000,000, right?
All schools I was at, everyone's getting beat up and yeah, everyone was playing. But I mean, yeah, but I know it's heightened and it's just the addiction like that before. Like yeah, it's just
a FOMO addiction.
Yeah.
Oh, I got this guy online got a Charizard. I need a Charizard. Nah. I'm gonna miss
it's fun. You limit your kids and you have deep conversations about it all. I mean, my mom always had deep conversations and stuff. I was pretty open-minded to everything as a kid. Like,
yeah, so
I was very intuitive too. Like, I kind of seemed like a bit of an airhead at times, but I realized, like, my mom was watching like Pulp Fiction when we were kids, and like we watched all this crazy shit, but we knew it was just for entertainment. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh no, I'm going to do something, or it was just we understood what entertainment was and all this, right?
Right.
Appreciate it. Like I said, you can just time people out too once in a while if they're a little rude, but if they're saying like "fuck you" and shit over 5 cents, yeah, just get rid of them. Yeah, all the influencers. Hey, MCGJ, what's up?
MCGJ,
that's cool. Yeah, no, it's a crazy thing. Like Bart's really into those Spider-Man cards right now. He's going crazy over it, right? But yeah, whatever. It's always a new thing. He's old enough. He makes his own money. He can do with it, right? Older,
right?
But yeah, it's just sometimes. Like I said, when I used to work at the EB Games, and there's kids begging their parents for the cards. And this is like just beginning of the COVID shit. Like. With the hype of it, like the real hype, and it was just like, oh my god, you know what I mean?
Man, what is it? Imagine if someone released an official MP44 in a specialized colorway, but only 100 out of 2,000 created will have this. It'll ruin Transformer collecting. I mean, yeah, that's.
How many of you even know who MP44 is? Optimus Prime, maybe?
Yeah, it's Optimus Prime, yeah. The 3.0 Prime.
I don't know, it's a little weird.
But yeah, like I see where that's coming from, because like a lot of those pins and stuff like that were coming out. There were a lot of people on eBay when Masterpiece were doing those specialized pins that they would try and get, Optimus Prime with a pin, and then that Prime, which was already like, what, God, dude, $400 for that Prime, I think it was. But then, like, because of the pin, they were asking like 600, and it was like, fuck that pin, dude. I don't want that pin. They were trying to get people with the FOMO on this pin.
Yeah, I kind of started to hate the Masterpiece stuff, official, especially just because it's just like you buy Optimus Prime, you're waiting for the other 80 guys. It's been 20 years, they make like 3 of the people. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
It gets really annoying. Yeah, cards just artwork. Yeah, I know, it's cool. When I started, I know. Some of the artwork's really cool. That's why I like those Mickey cards. But yeah, it gets expensive, especially if you are somewhat of addictive personality, right? And you're like, oh, I left those there, I should go back, or it just, you got to know what you're collecting, like, what your budget is. And
no, we haven't talked about that. MCDJ, what's the new leader class figure that's coming out? I don't know.
Oh yeah, there is those new figures. We could get to them. We'll bring them up, actually. We could bring them up.
All right.
Before we get into the He-Man, but yeah, just keep chatting for a sec. We'll check. I think it was the releases that they just did.
I missed it. I didn't see it. I haven't been on any like toy news site except for was it Marvelous News or whatever last night.
I remember what the leaders were. I know there was like, oh yeah, I think it was the Legion of Prime or whatever.
Oh, Trans Aaron sent me him, and he told me that he would be a really cool recolor for Prime Unicron.
Oh yeah.
And I agreed with that. I thought that was a really good idea.
People are hating on it because it's like, oh, so I'm making I'm tired of it, I just somewhat like, I still enjoy some of it. So it's just sometimes you're just like, Yeah.
You
just get so tired of it all.
But that wasn't the only one, right? Like Legion.
Oh yeah, there must be 2. I just can't figure out what 2 are right now. But yeah. So like Raz was saying too, you guys are paying more than the Canadians now, but yeah, and I had a guy lose it on me, or not lose it on me, but I had a guy sell it on Marketplace, and comes up to me, he's like, hey, I see you on YouTube or whatever, and then he was saying that he was an engineer or whatever, and he was like, these people don't know what they're talking about with the prices and the manufacturers. He's like, tell half those people, like, from the toy community, they should never go into business and all this, right? He's like almost doing some like EM minus, like, you know what I mean? Like writing it on the window of the car, almost like E minus, right, divided by. It's like, wow. But yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, this guy, what do you think? Do you think he's all right? Like, do you care? Transformation is pretty freaking, like, it doesn't turn into much, right?
I think he looks pretty decent.
Yeah. But he's supposed to be big.
The only thing I can see from that figure now, I can only see Unicron in that figure now. Like, that's it. Like, I think the green and everything looks good, but when Trans Aaron told me, when he was like, yeah, man, they could totally recolor Unicron, give it a new head and blah, blah, blah. I was like, that's all I see in that mold now because of the giant horns on the back, Yeah,
and they have that listing, a Unicron soldier or something, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. So even if it's not Unicron, it could be one of his like minions, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. What are people saying in the chat? Yeah, he's supposed to be really big. I think bigger. Yeah, not sure about this figure. Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be massively, well, not like, he's massive by modern day Hasbro standard.
Yeah, I'm sure MCDJ, I think that, but this guy wasn't losing it like that. But yeah. Oh man, truck. Yeah, this is.
Oh, so now that you told me and the other half of the community that we should never go into business, right? That's why.
Oh yeah, I think you just meant like you didn't say like tell your people, but you just said like tell. Like you just said those people online talking all this shit, things like they don't know about like EM size squared divided by whatever. He's like, I'm an engineer. So,
Yeah, because here's the problem. Here's the problem with like 99% of the engineers that are in the world. They think they know everything. They think they're smarter than everybody else, but they know dick.
well,
They
that's
don't
what
know shit.
like that's the thing. They get blinded by their own, right?
I watched when Oracle worked in framing. I watched an engineer come in and try to basically remake the frame that she made and completely mess it up. It's like, dude, it's a tape. You just need a tape measure and a hand saw, whatever it is, how they cut them, like the whatever saw they use to cut the frames, and that's it. Like, and and he's over here like, oh no, you gotta move the arm and you gotta carry the one and you gotta blah blah blah.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, some people are like they actually are that smart, right? But it's just the guy was younger, so and like I said, some real engineers you gotta have you gotta be not blinded by your own ignorance or thinking you're smarter than you are, right?
Huh?
Huh?
You said that so far away from the mic.
Sorry, you just gotta you gotta just if you're my mic might be down too. But yeah, you just gotta if you're sometimes you just like some of those people can't be blinded by your thinking you're really intelligent, right? So there's it takes a long time to fully get into it, right?
Right.
This guy, what do you think? Anything special? Like,
I mean, dude, he looks like it's what is that reuse of? What is that, Hound or no, Cliff or Trailbreaker. So it's like recolored Trailbreaker. So I mean, I think
kind of weird.
I think it's a decent. I think it's a decent reuse of that mold for an animated Ratchet, but
yeah.
I don't know, man. This G1ify everything that isn't G1 is really stupid.
Pretty close to the original, but it's not there. This is cool. I mean, people. I'm just happy to get him in that bigger size.
Yeah, that Power Glide looks on point. I like he's got the heart gimmick underneath his chest and stuff like that too.
Stoked about that. He looks good.
Yeah, he looks pretty decent.
The silly alien mask, right?
Oh yeah, from the Hollywood episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did Trax didn't come with his, did he? Was it Siege or Earthrise Trax?
No, the Masterpiece one did, but that Trax figure is pretty bad though. Like mine's legs are just trash.
Yeah, that figure does suck.
I have like 3 or 4 of them, so I'm just like yeah, it's just like every single one I bought and opened is horrible. So
MC DJ is asking, will we see another HasLab scale Unicron Transformer figure from Hasbro, or is Hasbro too afraid to take the risk? If not, what figure would they risk it on? I think
that big, yeah.
I think as of right now, I think Chris Cox is not interested in doing a proper HasLab. We saw what happened with Tron and how miserable that failed. Just died.
Won't fail though, but it's just they won't do it that big. I just know they won't. Not that big. The price now with all that increase, that would be like insane.
And I think if they were going to risk it, quote unquote risk it, I think that you would have to do Cybertron.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like I said, they could do what's his name? The planet, what's his name? Primus and smaller, right, for sure. I could see that happening. And they will do a Unicron again. It's just not going to be in that scale. And I figure at the end of the day, like besides the shit that just went wrong with the thing, like besides that apart, it's still a dumb figure in a way. Like the planet mode's cool and I don't know how big it is, but all that stuff just hanging off of it, right? It's just weird. What age of the Prime smokescreen is this? Like, what is this from?
So this is Transformers Prime smokescreen. And if you go back one photo, one photo, that front end looks like a 7th generation Celica wide body.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's the homage that I see right there in that.
Yeah, it does actually.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, good job, Hasbro.
Finally, we're getting just another year's remold, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. At least he's getting there. We're getting most of the little guys ready.
Yeah, most of these guys have been on people's want list for a long time. So
And then this guy, did you see? Because all the hype.
this, oh
Did
my
you see
god,
how did you see him combined with that stuff though?
this is, I saw it, dude. That's so lame.
I know.
Like, okay, in terms of they should not, if they don't release the rest of Nexus Prime's combiner parts, right?
Mhm.
Over the next like 5 sets or waves or what, like, you know, whatever you want to call it, then this figure is completely utterly pointless.
Yeah,
If
that combined photo looks funny too, like with the long neck.
yeah, like he can combine with other combiners, like that was, they shouldn't have, I would have pushed not to have this made, like come out or anything, or well, I guess that's, I guess he has to be, because you know it's the 13 primes, right? But
yeah.
but yeah, this is just swing and a miss, man.
Yeah.
This is like generic Autobot in the background type stuff. You
And
know?
yeah, if they are releasing each little piece, no offense, like that's just a waste on certain other figures, like for like, you know, on the shelf or whatever the SKUs they take up. Because like really,
I get that, but I mean, but that's the way that they've released like Minosaur and the rest of them,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah, I know, but yeah, no, I know, but those ones are like, those are characters. Like I know this is too, but it's just the appeal, the mass appeal. It's just, and it's just too much of a waste.
yeah.
Yeah, the original one's cool. My buddy has it all boxed up, right? Here's a question.
If Hasbro releases a limited run of a solid figure with third-party transformation articulation, solid in limited qualities, to tell us that they still have it, would it be worth it?
No, I wouldn't. But
I think, like, I'm assuming here, like when you say they quote unquote still have it, as in like they can still make like decent, like good Transformers or design them really well, right? That's what I'm assuming you're saying.
maybe some people think that like the third party is like, you know, because it's more intense, it's better, but truly isn't the fact. And they've stolen so much from each other now that they're becoming like blended.
Well, that's that's a huge problem, because a multi-billion-dollar company should not be stealing.
I know, but they stole from them their characters first. They stole back from them.
No.
Yeah.
A third-party company doing their own engineering and stuff, like stealing a character, like stealing. Okay, I want to do a Shockwave, and I do a Shockwave, but it's my own engineering. That's my artistic. That's my artistry in that figure that they're stealing from.
I'd still steal the character. You still the character we get to steal from you,
but you don't get to steal the artistry. You don't get to steal the painting. You can recreate the Mona Lisa and all that stuff by hand and everything, but you can't steal. You can't have the artistry of that original painting.
No, but you can steal some of the designs, like a chair, right? First chair, every chair, like so. It's just
but a chair designs itself, right? Because like we don't bend
I know.
at the knees, we bend back at the knees, right? So
but
Hasbro shouldn't be stealing. If they want to update like old designs that Hasbro owns, like as far as like transformation schemes and gimmicks and stuff like that I don't have a problem with. But and this goes both ways. I don't like when third party steals, like when Zeta was doing the Combiner Wars leg gimmick for all of their figures, right? And they were charging like $100 a figure, whatever it was. I was like, okay, but all you didn't there's nothing new here, you know? So it goes both ways for me. Like third party shouldn't be stealing that design from Hasbro and vice versa. But I feel like it's more so depicable on Hasbro to do it because they are the multi-billion-dollar company They have the resources to do all this.
Yeah.
And a third party company like Fans Toys doesn't, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like me. Like I said, I don't mind it as much. I'd be taking it too if it was our characters. But it's just for me, it's just like, yeah. But the thing is, like, yeah, if I don't care if Hasbro made a more intricate, like, I don't even like those figures. Like, they're cool. Like, I have a bunch, and like, you know what I mean? They're cool, like on the shelf, like as a model. But like, you know, I like the way Hasbro does the actual figures, the toys, you know, because they're more malleable. You can actually like play with them. If you break it, you're not out for $400. The transformation kind of is like you know what I mean? Like if you're just bored doing it and it's a good one you like, even older figures, like it's just kind of relaxing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do like that part of it. But yeah, I don't like I'm getting further away from the high-end toys because like the high-end type of third-party toys, I like them, but like I don't want to transform them.
I think so E-Man says yes input. That's exactly what you said in terms of like they still got it, like they could still do it. So to answer his question real quick, I think if they could do something that I think it would be worth it. I think if they could show that they could still do something original and knock it out of the park and stuff, I think it would definitely be worth it. I mean, it would, for that figure alone, it would bring me back to buying Hasbro Transformers just for the sake of that one figure to check it out, right? Like if you did like lights and sounds and like gimmicks and the plastic was real thick and transformation was awesome and well engineered and the figure was well engineered design, like all of it, like what you're talking about, I think it would definitely be worth it. So yeah. Hey JSP, what's up, man? He says what we were talking about reminds me of when Mattel made Duplicat, which was a ripoff. Yeah, because Hebro, if you guys Hebro made that copycat, which was like a faker Battle Cat. And Mattel completely ripped that off. See, and that's the thing. So this is, I'm glad you brought that up, JSP, because this is like my whole stance on it. Like I didn't support Mattel when they did that because that's super jacked up, right? Like they didn't homage the guy, they didn't ask him for permission. They didn't even double check the interns. Like if you want to argue and say, well, it was an intern that did it, okay, but no one at Mattel higher up went and oh, he was made by Joe Amato. Okay. But no one at Mattel you know, like second guessed it to look it up or anything, right? They just made it. And here's the fascinating part, right? Like, so that infuriated the He-Man base so much so that Pixel Dan even got splashback on him because Pixel Dan sided with Mattel essentially on that one, right? Didn't bring it up, didn't talk to him about it, and the fans were like super mad at Pixel Dan and Mattel about it. The Transformer fandom, like how you were saying, Danny, is like, well, they steal, and I've heard that argument before, right? From a lot of people. Well, third party stole from them, so it, you know, and then now they're stealing back, so it's okay. But it's like, so it's like it's an interesting dynamic between like the two fandoms where the fandoms went, the He-Man fans lost it on Mattel for that.
Yeah, no, I like it. I think it's good business in some ways because, you know, if Hasbro's like, we're going to steal that, and then they're going to, you know, it's like third parties kind of one up something. Oh, they won't be able to steal this because it's so highly engineered. Maybe it produces, you know, more, you know what I mean? I can't say it right now, but maybe it just makes people like, you know, come up with new things and ideas down the road. But yeah, it's just weird. Like they're taking our Shockwave, our Megatron. Like I'm gonna grab some of this. It's not copywritten, some of the transformations or whatever. So until then, I guess it's more legal. But
I mean, there's legal standing for any third party company, but you know, they get away with it. So Hasbro gets away with it. Hasbro gets away with it because it's an American company versus a Chinese worker, right?
Yeah.
So it, you know, China can't come over here and sue and vice versa.
They don't have like the same laws there, anyways, for copyright. So
exactly.
It's interesting. I don't care as much.
But if they took any of my Seeker designs, to coin a phrase from my mom, I'd be a pissed bitch and I'd be Sue happy.
Mhm.
Like,
different then. Like, yeah, different from copyright supply. You're in the same country, of course. But that's what I'm saying. This gray zone that's operating in, just interesting.
yeah.
Okay. I love the third party, like the way they've like made stuff better, like the innovation. I was trying to say, like I like what they've done, and then like you know what I mean. Sometimes you just don't want to mess with it because it is so high end and fragile. So when Hasbro does something kind of like that, it's kind of interesting because you actually get to like deal with it more, not worried you're gonna break a $500 figure. Like I said, I love third party in a sense, but just tough for me with the don't get to. It's more of like a statue, right?
And see, and that's kind of the thing too, is like with a lot of my third party Seekers, if they come in jet mode if they come in jet mode, I transform into robot mode and then pose them, and then I don't touch them. You know, they just kind of sit there. So I think if Hasbro was able to give something like that high quality, like feeling wise, and make it actually fun to play around with, like you can just pick it up and not worry about snapping it or snapping a wing off or whatever. I think that would be
if they could bring back the playability and like if things could just pop off instead of just snap like a certain type of plastic, then like I could be more down for that too. Like you said, you could bring into that other realm, and that would be another step up from third party. Oh my god, it's almost like third party, except that you could put it together, it's easier, it doesn't break as easy, and that would be a step up for Hasbro.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, like I said, it's so good. Let's get into this though. What we're going to talk about. How do you feel on the packaging on these guys? And this is from like Toy News. I'll link it all down below.
So they're doing. So I was told they're doing two different lines. They're doing like a 5-inch line and a 6.5-inch line.
I think this is the new 6.5, right? Or no?
Well, I mean, I don't think maybe it is. I mean, okay. I don't know. But I will say no. I think this is like the 5-inch or whatever here. Just judging off that dude's hand. But I will say this: if the packaging, as far as like the packaging goes, I like the packaging because it stands out on a shelf.
Yeah, this is the other one. This is the 5-inch ones, I think. The cheaper ones, right?
Yeah, I think this is like more geared for like the kids who will watch the movie and stuff. And these would be a cheaper price point and stuff. MC DJ says input still owes me a Maxima. I got for 3 minutes input. Macho. Yeah. I'll get her for 3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes.
Digimon made a lot of cool transforming figures.
Yeah, they did. Any Earthspark Cosmos being re-released? Nah, not that I have seen Nukem. But I do, so I like the packaging here. I like the back, how it gives like their stats and stuff. So now
that's old school.
Yeah, and it goes back to a couple of live streams ago where I was saying like world building, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it gives you just enough. As a kid, it gives you just enough wiggle room to come up with your own ideas, your own kind of environments and worlds, but stay in the world of He-Man. You know? Yeah. And so I like that. MC DJ says Mattel effed up. They canceled the Masterverse lineup. Oh no, they didn't. They canceled the Masterverse line for the new upcoming Chronicles movie toy line. Oh damn. Yeah, that's what MC DJ just said. Oh,
let's check this one out. I just gotta grab some water. But let's think like, well, these are the bigger figures here though, right?
Yeah, that looks like the 6.5-inch.
Yeah.
I think there's a butterfly joint on that He-Man. Yeah, so
He-Man.com, just so you guys know.
So I like the way that these newer ones look. I like the butterfly joints. I think some of the head sculpts are hit or miss.
Yeah.
I think, but you know, okay, I don't know how else to say this, so bear with me, right? The head sculpts are kind of hit or miss because it's based on like the actor. you know? So if they're trying to get as close to that actor as possible, with like their face scanning and all that stuff, right? But sometimes that doesn't work as well, and you still have to print it, you still have to mold it and put it in the machine and all that stuff and make it. So, but I do like the design of the overall like bucks from like the neck down for all of these. I like the fact that Skeletor has boots and he doesn't have like these weird like toe claw things hanging out of shin guards.
Yeah. But yeah, I know. Like they look cool. Like you said, the face sculpts just slightly strange, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, that Battle Cat looks pretty good.
Yeah, some people are saying, I can't remember who it was, just looked a little plain in the armor, but
they could have just used what they did with their Masterverse Battle Cat, like a soft plastic placed over Cringer and kind of give them that Battle Cat look.
Yeah, that was
because that's Cringer. That looks like Cringer.
Yeah.
Like the face sculpt and stuff without the helmet. I think it'd be really cool if they did an alternate head for Battle Cat, so you could have like Battle Cat without the mask, so his he can look real intense and real ferocious and stuff, and then you can have like a Cringer head, and I think that would have been really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Did they reuse this cat too? Like, is that that's from that other line, right?
No, that's all new sculpt right there. That's a whole new Battle Cat figure.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
But what is the JSP said or MC DJ said totally dumb in my opinion for them to cancel Masterverse. Make this movie line a subline in the Masterverse. The only thing that I wanted out of Masterverse was, so I got Anti-Eternia He-Man, and then the only other figure that I wanted them to do in that line was Disc of Doom Skeletor to go with their new Adventures of He-Man stuff that they did. Mm-hmm. So if going forward, if this 6.5-inch scale continues as like a replacement, and at some point we start getting, like more new Adventures of He-Man stuff, I'll buy that with fingers crossed. Disc of Doom Skeletor is one of them.
Yeah, totally. And I would agree, MCDJ. Like a lot of movie lines after, they don't sell that well after the movies, like yesterday's news, right?
Yeah.
Elbow joints look better. What is he saying? Too big to
JSP says no to my head idea because that the head would be too big for Cringer. But that's kind of the problem with Battle Cat as a whole, right? Like you have to, like, as far as like a toy company goes, if Battle Cat doesn't sell well, you kind of have to ask yourself, like, is Cringer going to sell well, and is it worth doing a smaller version of that mold and stuff like that? So that was kind of the point that I was trying to make, is like to kind of give, like if you just wanted like to have Cringer sitting next to He-Man, yeah, it looks out of whack, but you still have like Cringer, like covered in that with that idea.
Totally. I'll link all these things for the pictures down below after. But yeah, I know that's weird. They stopped selling all Origins figures in Canada at Walmart like 2 years ago now. So we don't even get the cartoon ones or anything. No He-Man figures actually in the stores now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what DJ was saying, like that Masterverse might only be online only.
Wow.
Which I mean, that wouldn't be the first time. Origins, they did it with Origins, and then they did it with I was gonna say Classics, but Classics ended up in stores. So yeah.
Only online, okay, yeah.
Muff Toys Adam Strong figure is actually perfect as an updated Classics. Adam Strong from Muff Toys. Is that like a He-Man, like third-party He-Man figure, JSP? Quentin says Cringer looks like he has no ears. Yeah, because like that's kind of like why I was saying like the alternate heads would work really well too, because you have to
Mhm.
kind of when you put that helmet on, everything underneath has to kind of be squished down. Like you lose a lot of detail. So
Yeah.
if you had alternate heads, you could have like the ears poking up and stuff, like make it look more
Yeah.
cat like.
Yeah, this Tila's faceless looks bad to me though, child. It looks just like,
That's Tila was when I said they missed the mark on some of them. Tila was the one I was thinking of.
that sucks too.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like real characters, but yeah, it's just the angle and like yeah, even the other angle I saw, it was just a little off. So what the hell? What are they going for? But
Yeah, I think the only one out of this line that I'll get will be Skeletor, as kind of like a test or whatever. Because I said this when I streamed this about the movie trailers. Like, I like the idea of having something in scale with like my like a Skeletor in scale with my Mafex sorcerer figures, like Doctor Fate and stuff.
Mhm.
Like, so now Skeletor can fight Doctor Fate. Like on a diorama and stuff. I think I like that idea. So,
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that flop. But yeah, do you think the Triclops looks cool besides like just the what different
I think
color, I guess.
so. I like
Right.
the design here with Triclops. I like the pants. I kind of yeah. I like the design quite a bit, actually. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna. I was about to go like pants and skirt thingy or whatever, but
Yeah.
but it's a nice update um to that original like 80s Triclops look.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's a cool update. It's kind of a weird figure generally, the old toy, right? A little odd.
yeah.
Just a weird style. Oh, this is to die for, though, I guess. Eh?
That's yeah, and it looks like the cape's plastic, which man, after Masterverse, every figure who had a cape had a fabric cape. I feel like this is a step back in terms of capes. I mean, especially after like Hasbro's like the king of plastic capes, and they started doing like cloth goods a few years ago on some of their figures. And even their Black series, their capes are um fabric, right? So I kind of feel like this is a misstep in terms of Skeletor, in terms of the figure for Skeletor, by Mattel to give him a plastic cape. But
Yeah, that sucks.
yeah, so but I don't know, man. I think from the movie, to play devil's advocate just a little bit, the movie looks like his hood and his cloak and stuff would be like a crushed velvet almost. That's
Yeah.
the And I don't know how expensive that would make that figure, or how expensive that would do, or how expensive that would be to put crushed velvet or that kind of like design or whatever into a fabric for an action figure.
Yeah.
So maybe they felt like if we need to have that crushed velvet look, maybe the cape should be plastic. Just to capture that look from the movie,
Yeah. And who knows? Like sometimes they do round two toys. I mean, I know you're really good at making your own capes and stuff too. So
Yeah.
if you go that route, but me, I like to kind of keep the toy as it comes. But I don't know. I'm not a big, never was a big He-Man fan because like I kind of like it just wasn't part of it. Never grasped me. I had Skeletor as a kid and those ant people, the ant arms, so they were cool. Yeah, just never been a big He-Man person at all. But yeah, like it's lots of the characters and stuff and toys are cool, right? It's just that someone showed me that, and then once I got to Turtles, it was just like it was Turtles. Like you could I couldn't get back into anything that last freaking like years, right?
Yeah.
Way more of a Turtles fan than He-Man. But like I said, like I can really like accept and like a lot of the designs and I just kind of thought it was more cheesy and stuff. But I mean, it's just part of that. It's just it was a little too young for it, right?
Well, I think anything like fantasy is kind of it's kind of cheesy by nature.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, that makes sense. I've never been much into any fantasy. Like I don't like Lord of the Rings or anything, right? I hate Lord of the Rings. The only part I like of Lord of the Rings is the one clip when they show what's his name, like the bad guy. I don't even know his name, but
I will say Quentin has a good idea for Cringer. Cringer having spring-loaded retractable ears would have been acceptable. Yeah, that would have been a good idea too. MC DJ says, I really hope He-Man the movie does great. I truly do, but I hate it's affecting the current toy line because I think it will fail, in my opinion. I hope it does good, man. I really hope it does. I hope they also don't leave it off on a cliffhanger just in case the movie does do bad and no one, there's never a sequel. JSP says, why does Triclops have a scope on his rifle? His eyes are supposed to work in that fashion. Maybe the scope can see further than the eyes. I don't know. I'm assuming
where it, like all goes together, right? I get what they're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's kind of like they have like real military stuff where it's like that, but yeah,
maybe
it is a little strange. Yeah. Well, here
and Quentin said, do you think we'll get a Panther to go with Skeletor? I think if Panther shows up in the movie, I think Panther will happen because I think these toy lines or this specific one, because we didn't see Triclops in the trailer, right? And I don't. Yeah, we did see Duncan, Man-at-Arms in the armor. So we didn't see Triclops. So that's a spoiler or a possible spoiler.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if some of these toy lines for movies, they'll just throw in characters that have nothing to do with the movie just to mess up the toy line.
Yeah.
So,
but this line for sure, like you're saying, like it is an iffy line for like if it lasts long. So you think for the most part they try to include everything you buy you would see in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, and then like you said, of course they could do way more down the road, right? But hopefully it's a little bit of a tease or whatever, right?
Yeah. So I do think if we get a wave 2 for this line, I think there might be a Panther in there. Hopefully.
Yeah, he is good at making stuff like that. Love you.
I appreciate you, MCDJ.
You simping fans too. I'm just kidding. Man, that's nice. MCDJ is cool.
Quentin says, I'd imagine the scope on the weapon is so you can use that weapon with other figures in the toy line. Oh, that's a fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Question for old school fans. You read it.
Are there no true, good, or any decent cartoons for these toy lines anymore? Because they don't have. So cartoons back in the day were 30-minute long toy commercials. And the way that these companies are approaching all this stuff now is from a nostalgic point of view. Mm-hmm. These toy lines now are not made for kids anymore, and that's what they have. That's what these companies have in their head. That they can just keep recycling the old stuff that we grew up with and keep recycling it over and over and over again, as long as it hits us in that, the nostalgia feels or whatever. They don't have to run a 30-minute commercial that consists of 36 episodes anymore.
And for business, it's just safer. These people have money. The older people, they already have the addiction or love to buy stuff. They love these things. It's easier to sell, right? Because like I said, kids are risky, man. Besides being like pretty small, because like I know like my friend's kid, he's like not that old, and he's on scooters, and like he's like at his age, I was still playing with toys in the backyard and doing weird stuff like that. He's just like he's not even into it at all,
Yeah, I think we're the last. Well, I don't want to say we're the last toy generation. There is some Gen Z kids that come in and they're like at the store, they'll see some of the Marvel Legends we have, or some of like the Marvel Zombie figures that we have, or something like that. And they kind of go crazy when they see them. They're like, "Oh man, yeah, Colonel America from the zombies. Yeah, fuck yeah, man. You know, they like it.
Yeah.
But the kids who come in who are slightly younger than like
into it. Some of the last toy line kids I see still like, oh, I want to collect it, or that's cool nostalgia vibe that we have. That's like not us as like the Ben 10 people I noticed.
Yeah.
That line is pretty close to that's it. Like for people that see the toy and they still want it, or they get the nostalgia, like because people still collected toys in that kind of way when Ben 10 was around. Now, of course, there's other stuff, but I just see that, and the Ben 10 toys have gone freaking skyrocketed. Some of them in pricing due to just that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Being that type of collectible. Like, yeah, that one really sticks out to me now because I'm like, whoa, that guy's excited over that. It's like, well, that's cool because that's like way past my time, and that person's like quite a bit younger, and they're getting stoked on a toy, right?
And I've seen a lot of people now starting to do Ben 10 customs out of like CT Toys and Marvel Legends and stuff like that. A lot of, like in the last like 2 or 3 years, a lot of Ben 10 customs are coming up.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think that Ben 10 era, like those kids who were like, 4, like the way that we used to watch like, Cops or He-Man or whatever, like when we were like 4 to 8.
G.I. Joe, like it's just they get that vibe. So the toys show it with the prices going up. Also, like I said, 2012 Turtles, like all that kind of thing. They still that kind of era, but that's like to me that seems mostly the end. Like there of course could be other things, but it just seems like that's like the big brands that are like you still see the pull. Like, and I know there's hardcore people that are into the Ben 10 stuff. It's like it's crazy. See it,
but then what I'm saying is like that's the last era. Like that's where the line stops.
Because the last type of people that's still around enough technology, but still had enough of the imagination. There's enough of the collecting. Like it was still part of the culture, going to a store and seeing every figure on the wall, right?
Right.
Ben 10 they stocked them. 2012 they stocked them like to a point, right? So it's just like. There's just that, like, they saw it. Like, they had what we had. It might have been, way different and smaller to a point, but it still was part of, like, that thing we were experiencing, right? Because they, like, we, came from, like, no internet to internet, basically, and, kind of living that transitional point. And they kind of did, too, even though maybe they were more on the techie side, shit was around, right? But still, like, that toy, the collector, more of, like, playing with your toys was a thing, besides being really, really young, right?
Yeah.
Because like the screens, man, like it's you could get away, you could do all this marketing, and the kids still might never care because it's just the screen is more important. The imagination. I hate to say it, like it definitely is gone. Not in everyone. Some people raise their kids pretty strict and stuff, and it's there. But for the mass appeal to be selling and doing all this, it is risky, right?
And I think kind of to expand on that whole what MC DJ was asking, like cartoons and stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily think that it's cartoons anymore that sell the stuff. I think the live action shows is what sells the stuff. Like the Daredevil show, the Netflix show, Born Again, whatever, the one with Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I think a lot of people are hyped. I think that show got a lot of people into Daredevil. Whether they read the comics or not, they're willing to buy a comic accurate Daredevil figure because they like the show. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of so like I said, so instead of getting like badass TV or cartoons, we're getting badass TV shows that have a similar effect. But it's aimed, but it's not hitting that younger audience. MC DJ said, can you explain to me the Netflix series of Transformers and He-Man? Why would they do such a limited series and episodes yet not try to combine it of a larger
it was so for sure.
We interviewed on TFT the showrunner for the Netflix Transformers show. And they wanted to do more episodes because the episodes were only like what I think they're like 10 minutes long or something like that, or whatever they were. They wanted to do more episodes to flush the story out more, but Netflix that Netflix wouldn't give them the money to do it. They just said no.
And they buried it too. They said like the algorithm, like after the first season came out, they like none of it was promoted. Like the Kingdom part was barely promoted on the thing. They kind of buried it. And for people like us, like I don't know, man, for people like me, like that care about art and stuff, like there's just too much of a cheap likeness to it, right? Like all the drone recolors in the back. They never showed very many transformations on stream. You know, I hate to be a huge critic of it because some of it was cool, but some of it was just like. And maybe like, was it too dark and edgy or not? Like, it's just kind of like,
yeah.
You know? And not enough time, man. Not enough time. Like, that's the thing. The beauties of the old Beast Wars was just like, you know, they only had so much money. They could only make so many, models, and they had to use deep stories with what they had. And you know, the shows were like 30 minutes, lots of time to expand on characters. So.
And a lot of these companies don't want to give the artistic freedom for a lot of this stuff anymore. They, you know, they'll say like, okay, you got $1 million to make this cartoon, but you need to have 14 characters. And it's like, well, then we're going to need $2 million. And then these companies are like, oh, no, make it work. And then make it work with these 13. Like you can't take away like 13, like that number 13, and make it like 6 characters to make it work, right? Like they won't let you do that. They want to control all of it while handcuffing the creative behind it.
Yeah, they don't take any risks, especially Hasbro's they did, because like so many people said it and people know it. Like when they're at their worst time is when they take the risks. Sometimes it's when their best work comes out, right? It's just when it's like higher up, it's less risk. Yeah, it's tough. You know, and like I said, who's watching it? And it's just sticky. You know, it's tough. But like I said, I'd love to see an old school version of Transformers out though. Like I don't like the 3D work and all that as much. I'd love to see like even if it was all done by the computer, but still like looking more like Dragon Ball Super, like the hand drawn, like but just isn't. You know what I mean? Just the flat 2D animation style of Transformers, right?
Right.
I'd love to see something like that again. I've heard them saying they're going to redo Victory, right? And like do it like maybe update it a bit and make it more HD and all the new like voice actors, you know what I mean? Like I just love that era of like animation, you know.
I hope if they use new voice actors, because I mean Ronin Warriors, you know, Samurai Troopers, whatever, they recently got that update, anime update, whatever you want to call it. And here's the thing, I hope, because if you do it like the Ronin Warriors way that they did it is the right way to do it. What they did with like Saint Seiya from the 80s and I think either Netflix or Funimation, I forgot who redubbed it, but it's on Netflix. That's the wrong way to do it. You know, just take the old cartoon and just redub it, you know, with new voices or whatever. Like that's the wrong way to do it. Like, so if they're gonna redo Victory, redo it in like that new Samurai Troopers, Sailor Moon kind of way, not the way they treated Saint Seiya, and that's bad. Like they did Saint Seiya dirty. Like,
yeah, it did. Yeah, no, it's tricky, you know. Or
you can also. It's been. I don't like the idea of them doing it like Dragon Ball Kai or Dragon Ball Super Kai, like what they're doing with the new Beerus show, whatever, where they're cutting out like the filler or what quote they're cutting, cutting out the filler.
I do love it, I have to say, because like it's some of it people just can't watch anymore, man. Like even Barty's like, we try to watch the regular Cell Saga, it's like, oh my god, right? It's like sucks because that's the good voices, and then we watched Kai and we got through it at the end. But I still like the old style version, but I like Super. I do like Super a lot more than I used to, but at least that's not cutting the filler out. That's just what it is. But yeah, Kai, I can understand. I the traditional real show is 100 times better to me because the build up is way more.
Yeah.
The Cell Saga, when Goku fights and all that crap, it goes by so fast. It's just like, what the hell? Like, it's just, there's no like tension. You know, the Frieza shit, of course, goes on way too long on the old stuff, but still, that was the whole point of it. It was supposed to be so epic. The guy was drawing it day by day, and you know, but yeah, I don't know. Something about the old Scott style way of watching it is my favorite, but yeah, it's just tough, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this right here on the stream. So everybody who can come at me can come at me. The Majin Buu saga and the Saiyan sagas are the two best Dragon Ball Z arcs, hands down, period. I will fight you. I will get in the ring and I will Mike Tyson everybody. Like 1980s Mike Tyson.
Yes, Cell Saga I like way more now. I used to like the Frieza one more too at the time, but now I like the Cell Saga more. And the thing about the Buu Saga that I don't like is just there's lots I love about it. The one part I just don't like is like when Buu, like when he doesn't absorb Piccolo and Gohan, he does not like he's not doing the villain talking, right? Buu's kind of boring. I mean, I know he's more like animalistic, but I like the villains like Cell, like when they have they're full of themselves personality, but different take.
For me, like the Buu saga, especially the Kid Buu saga, but like when you go, what is Deborah when he shows up for the first time, and all the Z fighters are crowding around, he spits on Piccolo, and Piccolo's taken out. That's it. Like he's stoned. Boom, done.
Yeah,
like that sets the rest of the tone going forward. And Majin Buu is constantly in your face, and that's the first saga and the only saga in Dragon Ball where like the villain actually feels like he could win, because Goku's taken out, Piccolo's taken out at the beginning, and like just that level of tension of the villain always in your face, never giving up. No, because when you look at Cell's like, in 30 days, we will have a sales game. Go train up, pretty boys, right? And then he just stands there in a parking lot in the middle of a desert for 30 days, right?
Just buying himself. But yeah, I know it's just he's just how he is, though. That's what I love about Cell. He's so full of himself. He's about perfect. And then in that one clip, he's like, maybe I am waiting too long,
Yeah. But like
so smart.
Kid Buu didn't like. Kid Buu was,
Kid Buu's crazy when he's like Kid Buu, right? But like I like him too, and he's like the Super Buu, and he's got like Piccolo's intelligence and Gohan's strength and the Gi, because he's talking like kind of like Cell in the way of like he's like smart, evil, but then gets rid of that stuff, and then he's like the Kid Buu part that's just animalistic, like you said, he's coming at you with everything. He's just an animal, and he's like kind of even less powered because he's like that, but he is just ferocious.
And he's in your face like the whole time. Like,
oh yeah, Goku's max. I just want to touch on this too. And then some other comments, but it's a nice mixture. This is what I mean. This is like what the T stands for. It's supposed to be a casual, like sometimes, like I said, we did the He-Man part to highlight, but this is just kind of like I sometimes do it by myself. It's just a nice way to like just discuss more than Transformers and just and Transformers as well, of course. But you know what I mean. Just a more like we can just talk about anything and kind of culture, and me and Emperor always like to bounce off each other, right?
What's this question that MCDJ says? He says, my second question would be then, since there's a ton of third-party toy figure companies, will there be such with animation and cartoons of these series? If not, why? Because these animation the companies that own the properties have to give the rights out there in order for this them to work or whatever. You could get away with saying like it's fair use, but when you start making money off of it, that's kind of where it gets a little wonky, because anything that, if they wanted to right now, Hasbro, Mattel, like anybody, any of those guys, like if you made a stop motion, you could get copyright claimed in an instant because the figures or whatever that, but then it kind of falls into like, well, I bought the product, right? So it's like mine to do with what I want. And it's like I said, like this weird kind of gray area kind of situation.
Yeah, and third party does have some of their own stuff, like those boat Transformers, stuff that's like related to Transformers. But like they could do they have so many ideas, like third party aspect of robots transforming into totally different characters. They should do their own show, right? Like a line should come out with the show and their toys that are like totally different. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I forgot about those boats and stuff. Yeah, you could. Well, and then so like in terms of that situation, animation is expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Just because of the amount of time. So animation, the way animation is done has changed, but the way animation is made has not changed. You know, everything is still done in like a frame by frame type of motion, type of like a capture, like frame by frame. Yeah. Everything is done in like a frame by frame type of capture, right? So you still have to, you know, draw it out or 3D model it out or whatever. So, when I make a stop motion, just to do like 5 minutes of animation could take, like, depending on how smooth I want it to be, could take me like a week and a half or 2 weeks. So, you know, you have to pay for all of that, right? So it's so expensive to do that stuff. And a lot of these companies may not have that startup capital to do one or the other. So they just kind of said, okay, we're going to do the toys because, you know, in like, you know, Asian culture countries or whatever. So like China, Japan, all that stuff. Giant robots are like a big thing, right? So I think that's like, it just, for them, it just boils down to not having the amount of money to do both.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. And I'll say, MCGJ says, I love my DBZ soundtrack CDs, man. What is it? The Faulkner soundtrack. I grew up with that, but there is something that the Japanese soundtrack just hits.
Yeah.
And it just nails it every single time. But yeah, both of them are amazing. E-Man says, I won't say there'll be a ton, but New Age already released their version of Optimus with Megatron's arm. It could go from there. Yeah, everyone's doing an Optimus with Megatron's arm. And that's like, and I like that because, you know, because choices, you know.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic thing in terms of like market value, right?
Totally. I was gonna say too, maybe I could set up the Cybercast because the E-Man wanted to be on with you too. Maybe we could do next Friday because I got Raz's thing this Friday. He's invited me to, so
yeah.
I won't overlap, but maybe I'll set up for next Friday because E-Man's usually good around this time too, like noon, so like 2 your time.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we should do a Cybercast together, and we'll do a couple things next week. And then yeah, Martin's not doing, or Ultra Megatronus isn't doing the streams on Saturday because it's Valentine's Day. Then his birthday's the next one. Hopefully he doesn't. I'm me saying that now that I think about it, but yeah, he's got like stuff all month, so he's not doing his Saturday streams either. So yeah, I'm doing Raz's little hangout stream or his little new show that he's got going. So yeah, next Friday I should be free. Cool. Let me know, E-Man. We can work around your time more. Me and Input are ready to go. But that'd be fun to have both of you guys on because you guys would be great together. E-Man's hype. So
sounds like a plan.
Yeah, but yeah, no, this is great. This turned out better than I thought, man.
Well, good.
There's lots of people in the chat. We had people saying they like the different style. Like I said, it's more of just still going to be in the nerdy stuff. We don't get heavy on other stuff, but it's still like, it's just nice to, not just be dialed into Hasbro or Transformers or whatever, right?
Yeah. We should do this more often, Danny.
Yeah, well, I said before I moved, I was doing this stream once a week, and it was just by myself sometimes. So yeah, you always invited, and yeah, like I said, this one I would probably like to keep 2 or just 3 at most on here because it could get a little out there. But and then we'll do a regular, probably another State with Transformers podcast next week as well. We could E-Man or just one of these, and the E-Man one, I'll work on it. Like as I said, I like getting that back in that groove of doing stuff, right? It's really helped me stay motivated and stay doing this. But yeah.
Well, what do you got to tell the people before we head on out of here?
No, I'm so happy. Thank you. This is a way more expected, in chat than I thought. I appreciate everyone that comes from Input's channel, everyone that comes from my channel, blend together. Like, I just appreciate Input being here. It's so nice just to talk casually about this stuff. And like I said, just to have people enjoy it and then interact that much, it was great. Like, I'm just happy overall. Like, I'm just happy to be back in the game and just having fun and talking about all this stuff. So, yeah, Just happy it went well. Thank you as always for being there for me.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. We'll get back to it. Just don't say anything crazy when I end this because there is still no outro for this video because this was like spur of the moment and there was this whole thing that I was just doing.
Just hit the end button already. Crazy talk.
So all right, thanks everyone. Take care, stay strong, stay safe, and we'll catch you on that flip side, y'all. Bye bye.